setting up your content for Autopilot projects automatically. So quite simply, once you have entered your titles, whether it's from keywords, URLs, sitemaps, feeds, RSS, etc., you will then be able to configure your content generation. So of course you can use content templates that you have previously saved. For example, when you generate your content for the first time, you can save your configuration. Here we're going to use a configuration, obviously a blank one, since we're starting from scratch. So the first step will be to select a profile. This profile is one you will have created beforehand as well, either directly from your sites or from the AI writers. So here we're going to select so it corresponds to a WordPress profile, since here, of course, we're working with the WordPress plugin, and naturally we're working on WordPress for the autopilot part, of course. Here, the custom instructions for the profile. So you have customization at the site level in order to provide global custom instructions, obviously for writing across the site. You have custom instructions at the writer level. If you have several writers on a site and you really want to give a specific tone for each writer who will be writing on your site, you can do this at the writer level, and you can also intervene at the article level. If you have a specific campaign with very specific requirements, you can add instructions. So simply put, a custom prompt at the Autopilot project level. So that still gives you a lot of personalized instructions when it comes to writing. Next, regarding the text options, obviously you'll have the choice here of text models. So of course we'll be using all the most well-known models like OpenAI, ranging from GPT-5 to 4o mini to OU3 or mini, etc. Mistral, if you've entered it as well beforehand, your keys. Anthropic, the latest Anthropic models with Claude. Google's Gemini, DeepSeek with the Resonance R1 model or the Chat V3 model, and Grok X's model when it comes to text models. Next, you'll find here some writing options such as the summary, a panel in short that will synthesize the data to put at the top of the article the key sentences, the key moments of your post, your article, with bold words, emojis, lists, tables, and an FAQ with schema. Orgy as well, which for example allows you to have PAs in Google, and the Toolbox tool, which lets you generate tools. A bit interactive like simulators, comparators, etc. You can actually find this in more detail in the AI Assistant. If you want to do something more precise, I recommend using the AI Assistant. Here we're in Autopilot mode, so it's something that will plan articles for your sites on a daily basis and so on. To feed your content. Next, the length of the content. Here, short, medium, long. The writing style then, again, we talked about profiles earlier. You can also add a well-defined writing style at the project level, simply if you want to say something serious, something technical, etc. So here in the writing styles, you can interact afterwards. When it comes to custom instructions for the text, you can also add even more instructions. But here it's really about the actual writing itself and not necessarily about the profile. So here as well, you still have control over this. In the media section, you'll find image models, including the most well-known ones like Ideogram, Stable Diffusion, and of course OpenAI with the GPT image model. There are also the Flux models with all the versions, FluxDef, Pro Ultra, Context, etc. The Grok image models, the Nano Badana model, and 2G Mini 2.5. Then image banks like Splash, Pexels, and Pixabay, as well as scraping from Google Images and Bing. Images. You can set a featured image and images within the content where you can manage the number of images you want to include in the content. YouTube videos, of course, if you want to display a related YouTube video. Instructions, also customizable for images. For example, if you want all your images in black and white, this is where you'll need to specify it. But obviously, each field comes with an improve the prompt option that lets you enter a prompt manually. And if needed, you can further improve it so that it fits a bit more into Automatic's pattern. When it comes to your request, I also recommend it for links, including internal links. So depending on your site, we'll fetch related articles that seem relevant. These could be articles, pages, or categories. That's how we'll proceed. We'll contextualize them in your text with internal links and external links that will be added. Why not provide some information? It could be documentation. And so simply look for external links that match your content with authoritative sources in order to create external links. Next, you have custom fields. If you use custom fields, it's quite convenient. You'll be able to make them dynamic, so to speak, with AI. Here, you'll be able to create a custom field. Let's call it field 1 for this example. You'll be able to create AI prompts, and an AI prompt allows you to enter a prompt here using variables, language just in case, and the title, and interact with it. So if you work with custom fields and you already have little concepts like this for your content, in order to integrate very, very personalized blocks, you can do it directly here with variables and simply with a prompt. So after that, be creative. There are tons of things you can do with this. It's actually pretty cool. Next, once you've generated your content for the autopilot, here you'll have the post type. So obviously, if you choose article, page, etc., then the status, you can set it to draft. If you have someone proofreading, for example, or if you proofread your articles yourself, you just need to set them as drafts to validate them later. The author you selected earlier, if you created an AI writer with a WordPress profile, you'll find them directly here under author. Here you can automatically assign your post to categories using AI. We will detect the categories you have and assign them to the correct categories based on the titles. This, of course, prevents everything from ending up in the same category. Generate tags, and obviously, based on the same principle, add tags and custom labels. So here, you just need to enter your different tags manually. So if you have very personal things to add, there's no problem. You can do it. Permalink rewriting, which allows you to shorten the URL. When you sometimes have titles that are a bit long, this can be useful. And the SEO settings, which in this case will allow you to generate a title tag that is different. From the article title, we're going to rewrite all of that. Allow emojis in the title tag, generate a description, a meta description, also dedicated directly to the article using AI. Then once that's done, we'll move on to scheduling your content.